5 Heep albums. That's very difficult, isn't it? Over the years. I mean, I guess the first album, Very, Very Humble, because it established everything. It was the first, and the first is always, exciting, and the fact that we had sort of all. If you understand that Uriah Heep was born out of a band called Spice, which was a 4-piece, and why we called ourselves Spice was simply because we didn't want our music to be one flavour. We wanted all different spices, and so we never wanted to be afraid to hit the folk market, the jazz market, the rock market, the blues market, or whatever. So we carried that into Uriah Heep. So that first album has all those flavours on it, and I think it's got a charm for it from that one. And of course, Gypsy being the big one on it was. Which we still play today, and has almost become an anthem, I guess I'd have to pick, I won't be jumping about here, I'll have to pick Demons and Wizards, of course, because that took us on the world stage. That album, with Easy Living, it really did, as I said, take us on the world stage. Suddenly the offers were coming from everywhere, to work, and that was immense, And then you started getting all the gold albums and all that sort of stuff, those accolades, which was really lovely. And by that time, of course, we were touring the world in, Learjets and having all hotel floors and bodyguards outside each room and all that rhubarb, and limos for each person. You could all get in one limo, one each, And I used to shun all that because I couldn't stand all that. I could never sit in the back of a limo on my own. That was so naff. So I used to sit with the driver and get all the scoop on all the other bands. It was fantastic, all the stories. Which they didn't get, sitting there in their own loneliness. So I couldn't stand all that. But anyway, there was a level of success we'd hit, which was immense. We were out in America doing 10,000 seaters a night, and it was immense, So that was a great time. I guess Abominable would have to be one because it was with a new lineup. Ken had left, David went there, but we had great success in America, funny enough, with that, and it became top 40 in America, and we went out and toured with our friends Def Leppard, who were the biggest things you sliced bread out there then. They were just coining it, mate. It was just unbelievable the success they had, and we were part of that role, which is good, And if anyone says to me, "What's the favourite band you've ever worked with on the road ever?" it'll always be Def Leppard. They were gracious, they were kind, they were included us in everything, they were just fantastic. All the boys were just brilliant. So that's that. I mean, I'd have to choose Outsider because it spoke to the press, it spoke to the fans in equal measure, which is great, and I think that's really good. And the songs that we do play on stage from that album really do connect. And I think there's also, as long as satisfying the fans that have been with us all the years, it's bringing in an audience, which is great. We played Kiev recently, and honestly, I thought it was a One Direction audience. It was just full of, young girls that just stepped off a Vogue magazine. Just unbelievable, right? And they know all the old songs in lyrics and all the new too. So that's what. So that I think their entry into Heep was probably through Outside, and then they find all this other stuff, and then they grow with it, which is great. So how many is that I've done? 4. Well, number 5. This is going to be a toughie.
Check in.
There's 24. Come on, give me a break. Probably. I could go back and choose another old one, but I think I'm going to go for Wake the Sleeper. Because we had a 10-year hiatus for recording, and it was a very important album to come back and make a statement, and I think we made a great statement with that album. We brought all the old fans and new fans back on track very quickly. It was a situation where the business just went into freefall, didn't it? I mean, if you take 2 years before that album, the record companies just, the internet came along, Napster came along. They took Napster to court and found out there's 1,000 Napsters, you cannot police this, and by then all the record companies were in freefall. They were disappearing, they were getting smaller, they were amalgamating. It was just a complete mess, and we couldn't find a home to record a new album in that environment. We could have gone off and done one ourselves, but we didn't think that was right because we're a band with the amount of countries we tour in, was 58 countries. We needed the support from the record company in all those countries when we tour there. So we did what we do best. We went out and played live. We recorded loads of live albums, left them out, live DVDs and stuff like that, and kept the band alive that way, you know. And until the industry settled down, and then we found a home with Universal at the time, I think, and we recorded Wake Sleeper, and it was just a big launch back in, you know, a mega launch back in. So I'll choose those 5 for now.